The movie Star Trek Section 31 follows Michelle Yeoh as Philippa Georgiou after she joins the secret Section 31 group inside Starfleet. Georgiou, formerly an emperor, now has to protect the United Federation of Planets as part of Section 31 while dealing with her past wrongdoings. Section 31 focuses on tough field agents who do not always follow Starfleet's rules. But you'll have to watch till the end, as we will also look at how the movie might explore the Lost Era time period between the 23rd and 24th centuries that has not been shown much before. It may explain how Section 31 changed from a large organization in Discovery to a small shadowy group later on in Deep Space Nine. And as we are all excited about this new spin-off, allow us to show you everything we know about Star Trek Section 31. Now, before Star Trek Section 31 was a movie, it was actually supposed to be a TV series. When Star Trek Discovery premiered in 2017, the excitement was palpable. Even before the first episode aired, the show was already greenlit for a second season, mirroring the early success of the iconic Star Trek The Next Generation. As the series progressed, one character, Philippa Georgiou, played by the talented Michelle Yeoh, quickly became a fan favorite. Yeoh's portrayal was so compelling that talks began in 2018 about creating a spin-off series centered around her character. However, confusion soon arose as the storyline revealed Georgiou's involvement with the enigmatic Section 31, and her journey ended up taking her 1,000 years into the future. Despite the uncertainty, Yeoh's performance continued to captivate audiences throughout Discovery's third season, set in the distant 32nd century. Midway through, Georgiou bid farewell, disappearing into the past of the Star Trek universe, leaving fans wondering about her fate and the potential for a spin-off series. For years, speculation swirled, with Yeoh herself fueling the fire, expressing her love for the character and hinting at future adventures. Finally, in a surprising twist, Paramount confirmed the spin-off project, but not as a series. Instead, it would be a feature film. According to producer Alex Kurtzman, the idea for a Georgiou spin-off had been brewing since 2017, even before Discovery's debut. However, due to Yeoh's burgeoning success, including an Oscar win and Paramount's own challenges, the project was scaled down to a movie. Star Trek Section 31 cast. As the Academy Award-winning actress reprising her role as Emperor Philippa Georgiou from Discovery, Michelle Yeoh brings immense gravitas and star power. Her portrayal of the complex, morally ambiguous Georgiou was a highlight, and seeing her navigate protecting the Federation while grappling with her past sins promises captivating drama. Yeoh's talent and screen presence ensure that Georgiou will remain a compelling, multi-layered character. Omari Hardwick brings his multi-talented skills, having won double Image Awards for his role as James St. Patrick on Power. He has also appeared in films like The Mother with Jennifer Lopez and Army of the Dead. But Hardwick is more than just an actor. He is a poet and a musician with an upcoming album, making him a true Renaissance man. But keep watching, as we have more exciting casts that you don't want to miss. Casey Roll is best remembered for her deeply unsettling yet acclaimed role as Abigail Hobbs on Brian Fuller's Hannibal series. The former Discovery showrunner's fans will recognize her from other works like Red Riding Hood, the V reboot, and The Magicians. Comedy fans will delight at the inclusion of Sam Richardson, fresh off his scene-stealing guest spot on Ted Lasso. While his comedic prowess raises eyebrows for Section 31's serious tone, Richardson's immense versatility allows him to tackle any role. Sven Roy may be most familiar to all of us from the Spider-Man film series. However, his wide-ranging credits include the newer Bring It On movies, Inside Man Most Wanted, and Kabuji in the One Piece series. Robert Kaczynski has played iconic roles like Sookie's lover on True Blood and a Jaeger pilot in Pacific Rim. But maybe we can all recall him as the roguish Sean Slater from his EastEnder days. Humberly Gonzalez is a true vocal chameleon, best known for lending her talents to the Star Wars Outlaw games. Her extensive body of work spans Nobody, Slumberland, Orphan Black, and innumerable other projects. James Hiroyuki Lau brings his acclaimed performances from shows like The Dropout and Barry. He has also appeared in diverse roles across Cowboy Bebop, Lost Girls, the Frankenweenie animated film, and more. Now, Lau cannot say much about his character in the new Star Trek Section 31 movie, but he does hint that his character is very intense and has been hurt badly in the past. Lau calls his character a broken soul who now hurts others. Lau said this is one of the greatest roles he has ever played. He is excited to work with his hero, Michelle Yeoh, who he admires very much. Lau loved acting with Yeoh and calls her everything. He also praises the special cast that he gets to work with on Section 31. Lau feels very lucky and grateful for this opportunity. As someone from Brooklyn, he never imagined he would one day be in a major Star Trek film. Now, while no word yet on Shazad Latif's involvement as Ash Tyler, Latif will likely appear in some capacity given the character's ties to Section 31 in Star Trek Discovery. Tyler was tasked with taking over what remained of the organization after the events of Season 2. Now, if he does return, Latif could bring continuity by depicting how Tyler reshaped and led Section 31 in the years after Discovery's story. As someone familiar with the group's ruthless methods yet possessing a moral core, Tyler's internal conflicts could be fertile ground for further exploration. Additionally, the history between Tyler and Georgiou as cordial acquaintances provides an intriguing narrative avenue. Seeing these two complex figures who have both walked ethical tightropes interact and potentially clash over Section 31's methods and goals could make for some compelling drama. Now, you will be surprised by Star Trek Section 31 plot. Star Trek Section 31 will follow the awesome Michelle Yeoh as the tough-as-nails Philippa Georgiou after she joins the super-secret Section 31 group hiding inside Starfleet. Yeoh calls it Mission Impossible in space. I mean, how cool is that? The official story says Georgiou, who used to be the mean emperor, now has to protect the entire United Federation of Planets as part of Section 31. But she still has to deal with all of the bad stuff that she did in the past. Uh-oh. Section 31 is a bit controversial with Star Trek fans. These guys don't always follow the nice, perfect rules that Star Trek heroes usually live by. But that is what makes it fun. As the writer, Craig Sweeney, says, who would be the misfits that don't quite fit in Roddenberry's perfect universe? Don't expect boring office politics, though. Section 31 will focus on the rough, tough field agents who get their hands dirty on dangerous missions. These aren't pals working together on the bridge, they're edgy loners being pushed to the limits. Michelle Yeoh is pumped to let Georgiou's deliciously evil side out again, but in a more fun, adventurous way with her zipping around rescuing people across different planets. One big mystery is how Section 31 went from being a huge secret army with bases and ships in Discovery's timeline to just a small shadowy group in the later Deep Space Nine days. Could the show explain that massive transformation over 100 years? Pretty mind-blowing. And what about Ash Tyler, who is put in charge of Section 31's remains in Discovery? The awesome Shazad Latif could come back to show how Tyler rebuilt and led the organization after the chaos. With the focus on daring field ops, we could finally meet Section 31's other agents properly this time too. Is there a Star Trek Section 31 release date? Unfortunately, there is no official release date announced yet. However, we shouldn't have to wait too long. The show is expected to come out sometime in 2025. The good news is that filming has already been completed. The camera started rolling on Section 31 in late January 2024 at the Pinewood Toronto Studios in Canada, which is the same place where the latest season of Star Trek Discovery was filmed. Michelle Yeoh herself shared a photo on Instagram from her first day on the Section 31 set. The entire shoot wrapped up by March 21st after a couple months of filming. One of the new cast members, Robert Kaczynski, had some very exciting things to say after working on it. He called it one of the greatest experiences of his life and said being a part of the Star Trek universe was a dream come true for him as a huge fan. Kaczynski added, "I hope you guys like what we made for you. As a die-hard Trekker, I think you'll love it." With such enthusiasm from the cast and crew, it does seem that Section 31 will definitely be a must-watch when it premieres in 2025. The countdown is on. But keep watching, as you will be surprised by Star Trek Lost Era questions Section 31 movie can answer. Michelle Yeoh's new movie, Section 31, will take us to a time period that we don't know much about, the Lost Era, between the 23rd and 24th centuries. This mysterious lost era has been mentioned here and there, with some important historical events happening then. but the full details of what occurred during this formative period have remained largely unknown until now. Section 31 might be set right in the middle of this unexplored time period, giving us a rare look at the early 24th century. The casting of Casey Roll as a young Rachel Garrett plants the story firmly in those years, possibly showing her early Starfleet career before she became the famous captain of the USS Enterprise C. More importantly, Michelle Yeoh will be back as the Mirror Universe's former Emperor Philippa Georgiou. Having traveled not just across parallel universes, but through centuries, the movie may finally explain how Georgiou ended up in the early 24th century after being from the 23rd. With so much unknown history to cover, the film can help answer many big remaining questions that fans have long wondered about, and major events like the conflicts between the Federation and the Romulans, the Cardassian invasion of Bajor, and more. One fan said, "I'm not that familiar with the announced cast apart from Robert Kaczynski from Pacific Rim. However, quickly looking them all up on IMDb, I have learned that Richardson voiced Vendome in an episode of Star Trek Lower Decks, and Lau was one of the bridge officers on the USS Vengeance in Star Trek Into Darkness. So that's cool that we've got at least 2 new cast members with some previous Trek connections." Another one said when Philippa was sent back, Carl said, "I'm going to send you back to a time when the Mirror Universe and the Prime Universe were still aligned." Not sure what aligned will entail. But as we wait for the release date, be sure to click on this link and watch the dark truth why Star Trek Discovery is ending after Season 5.